morning shortened practice session, Todd got out of the car smiling. And he says that doesn't happen very often, so he knew the car was right.
Of course, the Bodines are all from this general area. They're from Chemung County. This racetrack is in Schuyler County, but I guess it's what, about 40 miles?
40 miles from here, Todd told me he grew up. Oh, there he goes.
Moving to the inside of Jeff. Oh, he has to stand on the brakes.
Boy, do you see him lock that thing up, try to avoid hitting the 24 car. Here comes Terry Labonte. They're going to take that spot away.
Yep.
Yeah, just that little bobble under braking, and here comes, that's the problem when you're running in traffic. You're trying to be aggressive with a guy. You get a little bit out of shape, and not only do you not get past the guy you want, but you get past by about 4 of his friends.
That's exactly what happened as Labonte was able to get by him. You're watching live coverage of the Bud at the Glen NASCAR Winston Cup race being led by Mark Martin. We'll be right back. As you rejoin us at the Bud at the Glen, Mark Martin leads Ernie Irvan. We'll show you an Auto Light field summary. A rundown of where everybody was running the last time they crossed the start-finish line.
Look at Todd Bodine in 8th spot. Oh, Darrell Walters up in 11th.
Yeah, Harry Gant, 14th. Not a bad run for him. Now, Bobby Labonte has spun twice, but remains on the lead lap in 18th. And there you can see the 21 cars are on the lead lap. Looks like the time car is on the move once again with Ricky Rudd. Right behind Darrell Waltrip and ahead of Joe Nemechek through the inner loop.
And Bob talked about the inner loop while we were on commercial. P.J. Jones spun through the inner loop and got into the tire wall on the inside. Did quite a bit of damage to his car. I expect he had to head to the pits with it.
He's leaving the pits right now. Ned, as you finish talking, he's leaving the pits.
Jerry, what do you have for us?
Well, Mark Martin's spotter told him that P.J. Jones had spun up near the inner loop and therefore told Mark there may be some dirt or mud on the racetrack. So therefore, Mark backed off a lap ago going into the inner loop for turns 5, 6, 7, 8. And that allowed the 28 car to cut the margin in half. And so now it's only a couple of car lengths between the front two.
There is P.J. Jones in car number 88. Who is in 30th position at the moment, 2 laps down.
There you can see the damage is on the left side, Bob. He really got into that tire wall pretty hard.
And right behind him, Martin and Irvan. Half-second separation between those two, and a 9.1 back to Dallenbach in 5th.
And there we see Dallenbach's car right behind Rusty Wallace. Rusty and Dallenbach. Cars have not been able to get by Dale Earnhardt, the Goodwrench Chevrolet.
Rusty Wallace, a 2-time winner here at Watkins Glen in 87 and 89. He has 5 total road course wins. There goes Todd Bodine, Gordon, Labonte. And now here is Darrell Waltrip and Ricky Rudd, and they are battling for position.
And through this turn here, Bob, they had just passed Brent Bodine. Brent got a little high through this turn, so both of them went around him.
This is the battle for 10th then.
Here goes Rusty trying to outbrake Dale. He does it, doesn't he, Dorsey?
Did it easily, actually. You're not kidding. He drove that thing to the inside, deep braked him, and they made that pass happen like it was just a real easy thing. More passing coming toward me for position now. 41 car brings her again with him as they pass 26.
Yeah, I believe Brent Bodine has a problem, Dorsey, because he's definitely off the base. There's Dale Jarrett coming up to move around him, and it could be in his powertrain because Jarrett, and here comes the car number 4. Is that the 4 car?
Yes, it is, Ned.
Behind him there, and they just passed him on the straightaway, so it looks like Brent Bodine definitely has some engine problems.
Waltrip also has 5 road course wins, but he hasn't won since Riverside in 1986. To the left there is the boot that Benny referred to earlier, the portion of the race course that expands this considerably, but they're using a short course for the Winston Cup race at about 2.5 miles. There are first and second, Martin and Irvan.
It looks to me like that Mark Martin has turned his coolers off to his brake coolers, and that's really affecting his braking. Dorsey, it looks like Ernie's just eating him up coming down in turn 1.
Yeah, every lap he gets a run in here, although because Mark's slower getting into this corner, he gets out of it a little bit better and pulls up the hill. Mark's always really fast up those S's. I heard the guys talking in the pits about it before. He just flies up those S's. It's a hard place to go when you're trying to go fast.
Well, he's coming through the loop right now. Getting through these turns very well.
Okay, here's some more passing coming down into turn 1. 5 car gets underneath 24 car. Good clean pass. That happens before he even has to turn for the corner, so both cars aren't hindered by that pass. They both continue at the same speed they would have been. Worst thing in the world to get into that corner side by side. It slows you up so much. They got good passing.
That moved Terry up to 8. Jerry Punch has a story.
Well, Benny Parsons, I can confirm that, yes, indeed, Mark Martin has shut the coolers off, including the brake blower, we are told, because there is some concern that that battery may not let the car run the full 90 laps. And they don't want to take a chance on having the dominant car here, or the car to beat, and losing it because of an alternator problem in the late laps. So they have everything shut off, just using it when they have to. But of course, as you well know, that affects the ability to brake the car, or keep the brakes cool at least, here on the road course. We also might mention that Brett Bodine has a brake problem. Donnie Richardson, the crew chief, says the Quaker State Ford apparently has a master cylinder problem because the brakes are coming and going. He hits them one time, you're there. He hits them the next time, they're nowhere to be found. He's got to slow down and be very careful and try to nurse it until their final pit stop.
And Jeff Gordon's car is not working the way he wants it to either, because he has now fallen out of the top 10. Jeff is back to 11th as Ricky Rudd took over that 10th position. There is Brett Bodine, who finished second last Saturday at the Brickyard 400, currently in 15th. So with 30 laps remaining here at Watkins Glen International in the Bud at the Glen, it's still Mark Martin leading Ernie Irvan. Back in a moment.